Hello.
Hey, how you doing, man? Welcome to Late Nights.
This is Castle Super Beast Nightreign.
Oh, that's true. It is.
It is. It has happened. Yeah. That's fine.
Yeah, what's up? What's happening?
A couple things, not too much. You're back over there.
I'm back home. Even though I had my little dog with me the whole time.
Yeah, you truly chose to drop in as the most ridiculous storm we've ever had.
Historic, once in a lifetime storm.
Yeah, the amount of, so we got, I think they said it was 5 winters worth of snow in one night.
It was 40% of the entire snow budget for the city in one 3-day period.
That Monday. I mean,
70 centimeters over 48 hours. If you're American, that's 2 1/3 feet of snow over 48 hours.
So you know that little like balcony thing I have right by the kitchen there? Like that thing was like the snow looking at it was almost like eye level, you know? And at a certain point, it's like, okay, what's the weight calculation? Is this going to collapse if we don't start clearing it?
That would be cool.
You know, turns out light snow, not too bad. You know, it spreads out kind of light. But it still is like just insane in terms of volume.
It was very fluffy, kind snow.
But I did have to essentially like just go back there and just shove just a couple human beings worth, you know, off. It was kind of goofy. It had been a fairly, you know, regular ass Canadian winter. You get some bad days, some good days, but we're ready for it. Yeah, no one expects to see their entire the entire sidewalk just gone. At one point, Min just sent me a picture and it was just like, try to find my car, and it's just like there's nothing. There's just nothing there. There's buildings and there's nothing around.
This is one of those times where I'm so glad that my family is the way that it is, because I'm like, the plan was, hey Dad, can you drive me to the airport? He's like, yeah. I'm like, Dad, can you still drive me to the airport? He's like, yeah. I'm like, but this shit. He's like, don't worry about it.
Okay.
And so, like, we went to their condo, and their condo, the driveway into their little parking lot got completely snowed in by like 3 feet. I'm like, isn't that going to be a problem? He's like, nah, I got the truck.
Okay.
And then he showed up to the Airbnb we were staring like an hour early. He's like, oh yeah, it's no problem. Whatever. We'll take the back streets through fucking Lachine. We'll avoid all the traffic. It's not going to be a problem.
Man. Yeah. No, it's like, I feel like I've seen people going like, aren't you supposed to be the most ready for this? Isn't like Canada supposed to be on top? And
we
it's
are.
Like,
sorry, no, well, you are.
Yeah, Quebec, like literally we are. It was that much though, you know.
Montreal's snow removal like business,
world renowned,
is a fucking industry in and of itself, and it is professionals.
It has invented the three vehicle system I've talked about in the past, but literally there is the like all three simultaneously. You've got the big truck in the road, scooping it all up. You've got the snow plow up ahead of that truck, which is on the sidewalk, scooping it into the sidewalk, and then you've got the third truck on the side just receiving it. So one is scooping it up and shooting it to the side, and the other's just catching it. And all three are going down the street in unison. It's a synchronized system, and it works for snow that comes
really
up.
We saw some of the airport stuff. There's like 10 trucks in a row, just clearing out a whole runway all at once. It's cool.
We saved Maine in 1997. Oh yeah, that's sick. There you go. Right. We have the best.
We could have used some of our own saving during that ice storm.
Little bit.
Fucking 98.
In 90, a year later, yeah.
Oh man, that was brutal.
But in any case, though, you know, that did happen. Hey, fortunately, how about that? How about that working from home?
Working from home is awesome.
No.
I like that I have returned to a human pallor. I am no. I saw myself described as a stick figure on a paper bag put over a bare light bulb.
I should have sat you in this.
Show.
I should have sat you in this seat to see what would happen with the Vivek lighting, as they're calling it.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, what can I say, man? Our lighting is tuned for black.
Well, at some point, at some day in the future, you're gonna sit in this general area, and I want to see if the fucking reverse happens, and it's just like, well, that's just the kind of shit we got to deal with. Because you've got colored lighting on, I do not have. This is all just like sepia, bright white light.
But yeah, no, that was quite enjoyable watching you become -1 as the numbers go.
So hey, you know what? Let's backtrack a little bit. I recently visited Montreal to see family and Wooly and Punch Mom. Let me tell you, if you want to travel with a little toddler, just fucking don't. And that's not to say that the little toddler was a problem. He is an incredible little angel and was a kick-ass little dude on the flights and the travel and all of that. But holy fuck, do you have to bring a lot of luggage for a toddler, not a baby and not a child, but a toddler. You got to get the books, you got to get the toys, you got to get the snacks, you got to have the multiple bottles that you've been trying to keep cold, you got to get the fucking car seat, you got to get this and that. Oh my fucking god.
The way you were describing it was like he has discovered the concept of boredom.
Yeah, which means he can become bored.
Yeah.
And he hates it. And on both flights, my wonderful little guy thought, you know what? You know when's the good times to take a nap? Takeoff and landing. For just takeoff and just landing.
Oh.
The first 15 minutes and the last 15 minutes of the entire flight.
And nothing in between.
Yeah.
Okay.
Dog was a champ, by the way. Dog was hung out in his little bag.
Yeah, no, I'm convinced that, like, Boozy's unflappable. There is nothing that will concern that dog.
So I thought, like, the dog hangs out on my lap here or down there in his little bed or in the bag, right? And it's like, yeah, but this is my empty office with just me, right? So I'm like, well, it might be a little different when in a bigger room with lots of people he doesn't know. No. I'm just going to chill on my lap or in between me and Reggie for like 6 hours. Who gives a shit?
Yeah, no. And, I mean, hey, look, it goes without saying, but those charisma stats are like...
He's a handsome little guy.
Yo, those charisma stats are high.
He's a cute little dude, and he's giving high fives.
Yeah, no.
Oh my god,
you're getting replaced.
Oh, I sure am. Paige messaged me to remind me something that I forgot to mention on my stream the other day, which is on the way back. So first of all, man, hey, Wooly, love you. Love Punch Mom. Your hospitality is incredible. You are amazing hosts. It was great to see you. Can't wait to see you again. Boy, I'm not coming out there for a while. Going to Montreal sucks. Being in Montreal fucking sucks. Like, just the fucking vibes are shit. Vibes are god awful and trash.
Now this is storm aside.
But as the bonus on the way back, the last things that happened in Montreal, pulling my luggage into the airport, my fucking belt busted, and I had to go all the way home with my pants almost falling down.
Good. Good for you.
And then
Take what you deserve.
Paige were getting off the plane, somebody dropped their overhead luggage onto her head.
Okay, well.
And it left a fucking wheel mark on her forehead.
Oh, like a bad one.
Yeah.
Damn.
And we were like, one final gift from the French.
Get your ass out. That's what you fucking deserve.
Dude, I was carrying a baby in like 4 bags, and I'm like duck walking because I don't want my pants to fall down in the airport, and I was terrified.
Yeah, look, someone asked on one of the streams, like, yo, what, like, for all the shit that you talk about Montreal or whatever, tell us some actual good things. And I think me and Reggie did.
Oh yeah, you
spend
guys
some
did a great
time
job
there. But I'm just like, I'm not gonna run the defense for why I live here and what I like about it every single time we have this conversation.
I just want to run the offense.
Okay.
On how great it is to be back in BC.
That's fine. That is fine.
It's awesome.
I definitely.
The air is better.
Yeah, but the energy that unfortunately this brings is everybody that then takes this and comes to me going, why are you living in a literal turd? And it's like you just,
because he loves the smell.
Yeah. Anyways, I'm just I've said my piece on it.
But you guys are there, so it's not all so bad.
Oh well, that's quite.
And
nice.
my mom and dad, my sister, and my I keep calling, dude. I'm so still not used to being an adult man that I keep calling my nephew my cousin.
What?
I keep going, oh, my cousin. No, that's not your cousin, Pat. You're almost 40 years old. That is your nephew.
Yeah, stop.
Yeah. I'm just a 40-year-old little baby. Okay?
But
I dropped something. Fuck.
Okay. Well, how about this?
Yeah.
Did you enjoy the restaurant?
Oh, I sure did.
Okay.
Thank you for taking us out. That was fantastic.
Wasn't that kind of cool?
It was super cool. It was incredible. I will have to return the favor at some point.
There are cool things we're still discovering. I don't want to.
We got to take you down to the white spot.
Oh, I forgot about the white spot. Yeah.
It's like a 3-star, but it's fun to sit in the white spot and be like, you know why they call it that.
No, but there's some cool places that I'm keeping close to the chest for now that I don't want.
Oh, absolutely.
I don't want to blow up just yet. That's one of them. But
like, hey man, seeing you guys was like one of the highlights of my year. I really mean it. We had such a great time. No, it was so nice to see you guys.
Absolutely, and we got a good time playing some fun shit. For example, Virtua Fighter 5.
Virtua Fighter 5 is a fucking good game, and no one's playing it, and that's fine.
Yeah,
that's fine.
Just it's 6 will come, and there will be another like little bit of an attention rush towards like learning the rhythm of what this all is for a little bit, and it'll sit in its place where it's like, good, it's not dead, it exists. It's not lighting the world on fire, but it's in the corner, and at least the Yakuza people love it and are keeping it alive. And maybe that's all it needs. I don't know about profitability. I don't know about.
This definitely lost money.
No,
this definitely lost money.
That being said, always fun to like as I'm going through this, I'm just like, oh shit, there's like rhythms and systems to this that I'd like never really fully internalized because I never.
Oh well, that's the problem is that like it's the Dunning-Kruger shit in fighting game form. It's like you never feel like you're any good at the game ever.
Right.
Like at no point do you ever feel like you ever got good at Virtua Fighter 5. Like there were like that first half set of matches before Reggie and you found your rhythm. I was stomping you guys in the dirt, and all I could see was that I was playing like trash.
It's
right. All I could see was like, oh man, this is so. I'm not fuzzying. I'm not even evading.
I mean, every game has so many things to think about, and like this one just introduces its own set,
Yeah.
And on top of that, like. That's all before, like, you have to then... Reggie goes and picks boring karate super hard man and is like, I'm going to do the really hard on-block string to... Like,
I want complexity, please.
And I'm like, this game's hard enough before you add that to it, as I pick a character that's 2 characters in one.
So, Virtua Fighter 5 Revo exists so that when Virtua Fighter 6 comes out and people start to get into it, you will be able to point back at VF5 Revo and go, Revo was better, man. This new one's trash.
Yeah.
You guys don't even know.
You don't even know
and
how
people
good
who
you had
are
it.
really into VF5 can go, this isn't nothing compared to VF4 Final Tune. Come on, Final Tune was where I was at back when Go and Brad were the new ones.
Again, I said it during the actual stream, and to reiterate, like the option select article, give every Virtua Fighter a 10-on-10 because the future of the franchise demands it, no matter how mediocre
absolutely
the release
100%.
might be.
It's like that, hey, you gotta give Leo the Oscar for Revenant because he deserves one, but maybe doesn't deserve one for this one.
Yeah. I mean, okay, the Grammys do that, the Oscars do that. Yeah, absolutely.
It's like, listen, if we don't give this guy a Grammy, he'll fucking kill himself and we won't get that good album next year. So come on.
The pity award. So there was a little bit of that, and then there was some Avowed.
There was Avowed, which is a really strange game. So I played about 6-7 more hours of it on my own show in first person, and let me tell you, boy, those animations are made for first
person. You can tell. Yeah.
It's extremely clear.
I mean, I remember like when I saw Mirror's Edge third person mods, and it was like,
and you're like, no,
they did not. This wasn't built for this at all. Her torso was just like,
So Avowed is really interesting because people keep comparing it to Skyrim, which is a game that came out 25 years ago. And every time I see that, somebody goes, Pat, Skyrim didn't come out 25 years ago. To which I say, yeah, I know. It didn't.
No, Morrowind?
Who cares? But the point is, that Avowed is really interesting because it looks like Oblivion or Skyrim. It looks like a big open world RPG on your New Vegas or your, that kind of thing, or Cyberpunk, right? But what they've done is that Obsidian has realized that they don't have infinite money to compete on that scale. And so what they've done is they've said, okay, what can we do? What can we cut? What matters? Kind of thing. And so you have a game like that where you go to swing your fucking axe at somebody in town and they're completely invincible, and the entirety of suite of mechanics for what happens if you act badly in town just doesn't exist.
Yeah, it seems there's no doing anything.
And I can definitely agree with that because it's like, okay, yeah, you do that in town once and then it goes bad for you and then you don't do it again.
So save time, save budget, reduce this whole thing down, and just don't even let you do it.
Yeah. Somebody in the chat says it's not a Scrolls-like, it's a KOTOR-like, just in first person, which I actually think that would be a much better example. Very good first person combat for this genre.
Okay. I
really like it. I unlocked the parry. I unlocked bullet time for the guns, and it feels really good.
See, but when someone says a KOTOR-like, I then go to like, oh, so the story and the RPGing and the conversations and all that are the compelling
very
parts.
Much more like that.
Yeah, okay.
Talking to random character for 15 minutes.
Yeah,
getting some exposition. It's got a good parry. Let me just say that. The parry is good. It has the right timing.
Okay. So I didn't see anything that was my jam. Yeah. It really wasn't my thing. However, Fishman Garrus is a very quick way to my heart.
They're super.
That is a shortcut, and it's almost cheating to put both of those things together. And I'm like, if you're going to be hanging out with other versions of that, like voice actor you love and great character design, and you just smash it together, you can do that. You can cheat me over to your side. It's bullshit, but it works.
It kind of feels a little bit like Mass Effect in that you go to camp and then your boys stand around at their designated spot, and then you go to talk to them and you exhaust just every single fucking line of dialogue this person has, and then later after a big event they'll refresh that dialogue and it does like the very similar shot reverse shot as Mass Effect, even though your character doesn't have voice acting because you're a fucking disgusting mushroom person. Overall, like, yeah, no, it's very solid. It's not going to set the world on fire. Like, it is not ambitious or against the grain like something like Kingdom Come Deliverance is. It's like it's a very well put together, reasonable, interesting RPG. Like, this would be pure AA back in the day.
So you've spent a ton of hours in Pillars. What is the... Does this feel like the same world and the same kind of setting? And, like, are the characters and overall vibe, like, matching that? Yeah? Okay.
100%. So, like, this is one of those things, like, it's a spin-off. So, hey, you don't have to play Pillars 1 or 2. You don't have to. But if you do have 2 games worth of background on the setting, literally every single thing that comes out of someone's mouth will add a little extra piece of context for you. That you'd be like, So, like, Kai, Hot Fishman, for example, is a former sailor in the Rowatine Navy, which is like an imperial force of fishmen. Very expansionist, which multiple party members in the past of the prior games have been, but he has a different take on it. And so his view of his country's army is now the 3rd perspective you have received of party members throughout the series.
Okay.
That kind of thing.
Okay.
And the other thing is that I don't want to go into it here because it's the podcast and this reaches very wide. But I described that the end of Pillars of Eternity 2 is such a ridiculous fiction annihilating calamity.
Yeah, now that I know. Yeah.
That feels like they really never intended to continue the setting at all. And this game starts up with, okay, so that thing is going to be the primary problem that you need to fix in this game because it is a dramatic cataclysm. Okay. But they don't go into how that happened.
Oh, so far.
Okay. Like the root cause of the problem, that's for Pillars 2 to go into. Okay. All that matters here is we have the problem and you must fix it.
We're living in the effects of Pillars 1, but we can't do anything that would fuck up the proper.
Yeah. They do interesting things, like they'll have characters that died in Pillars 2 and be like, "Oh, they're back." And you'll be like, "What? They're back?" And they all really fucked up. It was crazy. It's wild they survived that shit. Like, the character in particular that is back is a character that I atomized in Pillars 2. Like, full jib, like, corpse explosion. And I guess they got better.
Okay. Did you, with extra hours, note that, like, is it, as the guess was, like, one... did you switch up party members from town to town? Or
no, I did not. The first big area is very meaty. So I was just doing that. Though what's interesting is that they have at the end of your first big main quest, they have a big storyline moment which asks you whether or not you want to accept powers from a strange new source or not. And if you do, you get completely unique abilities associated with it. Okay. Something like a Jedi power or something like that. Okay. But if you don't, you get an extra generic skill point. And you don't know what these powers are going to be before you get them. Okay. So despite the thematic thing going on there, there's like, do you want to get to the end of the game with like 12 extra skill points in the regular tree? Because that would be really strong. Or do you want a wide cavalcade of irregular abilities that you may not care about some? I'll take any Eldritch Power a game offers me. So that was easy.
Is that kind of like in Baldur's Gate 3 when you go the I forgot what the name of the run is, but the like crazy tadpole run? Yeah.
Well, no, it's more like it's more like either or rather than yes or no.
Okay.
But yeah, Avowed is a really interesting game. I like it. It was pretty solid for me, like stable wise. I'll pick away at it in the background. Definitely not going to keep streaming it.
I hope that Garrus isn't the front-loaded, like, strongest and like party member in the game in terms of just like people you want to hang out with. I hope that they're equally
I don't know
as
who
compelling.
any of the other ones are. I think one of the reasons that people are comparing Avowed to very similar but larger scope games is because it costs the same. Like,
damn. Okay.
Like that. Like somebody in the chat pointed out, $100 in Canada.
Yeah.
And it's like, if it's $100 in Canada, I should be getting a $100 in Canada game, like Kingdom Come Deliverance or Baldur's Gate 3. And I talked about it a little bit on my stream.
Or Hunter x Hunter Net Impact.
Yeah. Oh. The for RPGs in the next 10 years, the phrase "why isn't this as big as Baldur's Gate 3" is going to be like a fucking death knell, like over and over and over and over and over.
Yeah. I mean,
why not?
Okay, but
why didn't you guys patch multiple expansions worth of content like Baldur's Gate 3
because
did?
That's the thing. It's like literally as we speak, there is a giant Baldur's Gate 3 patch. It's like about to. It's
sitting
like
there in a stress test
coming through right now. And apparently needed its own patch before the patch and whatever's going on.
I saw a very similar tweet that was like, "Hey, how come Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 is cheaper and it didn't cost as much to make?" Even though it's so big, and it's quite a large game. And it's like, oh, could it be because the fucking devs are in fucking Eastern Europe and their dollar isn't the same value? So it's actually, if you did the fucking local Europe to Euro or USD, it would actually cost like $1 billion fucking dollars.
Right.
Is that why? Is that why, maybe?
But it is interesting because I'm like, as I'm playing Cyberpunk right now, it's like that game's still getting touched and updated in quality of life and improvements and stuff. You know,
yeah.
Like, it's a nice feeling that it's like, oh yeah, there's a long tail of service on this game, and you know they legit want it to be like the best quality of life version of itself that it
That's
it can
so
be.
Crazy that they could keep supporting Cyberpunk for so long, and that it has nothing to do with the fact that the Cyberpunk devs own the second largest PC game retailer, and they are paying their people in Polish dollars, which is like 1/4 of the CAD, and so they could spend 1 million hours on it, and it's fine.
Hey man, you gotta you gotta put your blockbusters out so that you could fund your A24s or whatever, right? Yeah,
we gotta fucking outsource these RPGs to Europe. God damn it.
It's not a fair comparison to go, why is not everything like a Larian game? It is.
You're totally right, unless you're paying with your money.
But what I was going to say is it's not a fair comparison. However, personally, I'm just going to be less interested in the Baldur's Gate 3 one.
Yeah.
So what's the because again, full outsider, like touching a couple hours of that game, I can't believe how fucking incredible. Like it's super nuts how far it goes, and watching Avowed, like just starting up its its intro section and going through that slice, I'm like, okay, like I see what's going on here. I don't know that. Yeah, I don't like the length, the hours. I don't know that I would need that much to grab me. It, like I would definitely need to see a bit more Baldur's Gate 3-ish things going on without putting that on every game. It would have worked if I saw more of it though.
People are pointing out that Baldur's Gate 3 is actually cheaper than Avowed by about $10.
Okay,
and that is a lot. But it's just I think the funniest thing by far is that we're in the era of how come this isn't as good as Baldur's Gate 3, which is going to last like a long time. And the reason it's funny is because from the year 2000 to like the year fucking 2009 when Mass Effect 2 came out, I don't know if you remember, because you might not have been into this particular subgenre of RPG, but of CRPGs, the refrain was, why isn't this as good as Baldur's Gate 2?
Oh.
Was a thing for like a decade.
I see. Okay. Interesting.
Because Baldur's Gate 2 was like the largest scale RPG of its era by orders of magnitude.
I feel like what I've always heard about is like Fallout in terms of like being able to do anything. Why aren't there more games like that? Was
because it's hard.
A comparison point. Yeah,
because it's hard as fuck.
Understandable.
I think Bethesda talked a lot about like, hey, how come you guys haven't fixed that bug where you pick up items and all the items fall down on the table because it recalculated the physics, and they were like, because we're calculating like 5,000 objects physics in a room, and we have to keep them loaded into the cell so that when you leave and then come back, all the items are still correctly tallied in the cell. It's fucking hard. It's really hard.
What's funny about holding games up to unfair comparison points that are like really standout good examples in the genre, though, is that with there was a time when we would touch an action game and be like, I wish it was a bit more like Devil May Cry. And
yeah,
it's like
that continues to this day.
But it's like, oh, well, that's not fair. It's the peak of the fucking genre. But yeah, I do too. And then fast forward to, hey, look, everyone has high times into aerial raves. Everyone's doing a stinger. Everyone's doing, you know, and you're just like, oh, it took a while, but we got here.
Has high time into aerial rage.
Yeah, like it took a while, but we kind of got there. You know, it's weird to see it happen after a period of time, and it's not always going to be good, but the bones are there. You know.
But yeah, no. If do you remember Ain't It Cool News and their movie review system, which was fucking was it full price matinee and wait for home video? I think it was. Angry Centaur Gaming ACG has an incredibly similar thing, which is buy it day one, wait for a sale or pass. Avowed is very much a wait for a sale kind of game. It's good, and I really like it. And I'm a huge mark for pillars, but for the average person, I would say that there's like a lot better place to use your full priced dollars.
Yeah. Okay. So
by the way, I got the game for free.
Yes. Oh, true.
Just letting everybody know.
Hashtag, code. And then we played some Nightreign.
We played some Nightreign. Where are we dropping, boys? So there were a lot of things I thought about Nightreign, but that I want to get into right before we get into Nightreign, if that makes any fucking sense.
Yeah.
And that Nightreign beta was limited.
Yes.
It was highly limited. It was limited in scope, in time, and in features.
4 characters is definitely not the release count, you know.
Yeah, but you always dropped in at the same basic place in the full game. You're going to be dropping in at like the random fucking arcs.
Different arcs and such.
And the terrain the terrain randomization is not in, or was not in, that network test at all.
So they said that there's going to be procedural effects to the world. I don't know that it's going to change the map in terms of like locations of building structures and like valleys and peaks. I think it's more about like, this is a poison area, this area is burning now, this area has a storm going through it.
So what they said is that the physical geography of the map would not change. Hills, valleys, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But what would be physically placed on the map would change, and that would be buildings.
Camps.
But it wasn't clear if they meant castles or if they meant like small structures or camps.
Yeah.
But that swamps, storms, etc. would vary it up, so you could not rely on your existing knowledge on every run.
So I got a session in before we started. We did our session that we streamed.
You get one afterward?
And I got one afterwards.
Yeah.
And that afterwards one was a really good one. Like,
oh yeah, did you get so one of the interesting things that we got was that 2 of my guys disconnected in the last run that we did, and I got to actually play Nightreign in the solo mode, and it was very cool because we found out how they're gonna do it. Bosses will not spawn the fucking ads they have for the extra players, and the monster health will decrease.
Damage reduction
accordingly to what it's like. Okay, that's exactly how we thought it was gonna work. And that felt awesome. Did you get a run like that, or you're all like clean 3 people?
I didn't get a solo run. I got a 2-person like extended run for a while, where that last time around, knowing how to play more I got a lot further. I got to the end of day 2 on a 2-person run. And then I got a clean clear with 3.
Oh, you got a clear?
I got a clear, and I have learned quite a good bit since that first session. So I was going to say,
tell me more.
Yeah, so the session obviously we went through the different classes, got a feel for them. The overall feeling of holy fuck, go is not just the game design, but also the fact that the demo is on the clock and you have your 3-hour window.
It's a really, really specific clock.
Yeah, and it takes again, you can die quickly, but at least it's going to take about 20 minutes before the run is done. You're committing. So the Wilder, the kind of just your default sort of starting character, very solid, safe choice with rolls and
normal man.
A generous ass buckler parry. Grapple out of the way and big fucking exploding punch ult, very solid starting weapon as well. Overall distribution is kind of endurance and strength based, or rather just balanced more than anything, I'd say. Guardian is more strength and endurance based, right? Because he's
a big boy,
and you've got the walk and poke, with the shield and extra stance.
I believe he's the largest playable character in From Software history, in height.
I guess so. If the custom characters can't,
he is enormous.
Go beyond that their thresholds. Yeah, and in a game with tons of mobility and with the ability to fly up and slam down and shit, it really ends up just feeling like FromSoft. Well, I called it arcade mode, right? It feels like hyper.
Yeah.
This is a Marvel versus Capcom version of this game. With if you've got an hour and you want to get some souls in you and you're not too concerned about lore, you just want to get a run on some bosses, kind of like what people do. Essentially, I feel like it's like FromSoft is the things that people mod the game to get quick enjoyment out of on multiple replays. They're like, why don't we put that out?
Well, that is literally the exact phrase from this game's director. Was we were watching a lot of speed runs and randomizers. And we're like, well, what if we did that? What if we had a version of the game that was a really fast run, but it was also randomized? So
the second character I started using and did the run with was the Recluse, who is essentially, Ranny the Witch style character. And yeah, her whole thing is she's got shards, she's got the wave, casting spells, and then as you run out of FP, you're gonna kind of grab the damage out of the air and it'll stock 1 pip of a certain ingredient, combine 3 to cast a spell, and then the not randomized, but the ingredients you'll have to memorize all different types of combinations to know what that means. It's a really fun and interesting way to sit in the back and kind of support. But what's interesting too about those builds is that if you pick up a weapon that you want to use, regardless of what your intended character is, you can still swing it around.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah,
use it.
Levels are going to be hey, you got to get to at least level 9 before you can use this special weapon. But if you pick up a greatsword as the Recluse and you have the right level requirement, fuck it, you can use that. So they're not doing any things where your build needs to have. It's you can only use magic and light dex weapons or so. They're not restricting you out of that, so you can change your game up a lot.
I think better than that is even I picked up the bird poker on my last run, and it's I couldn't use it for almost my whole run, but it gave me 10% of my fucking life back when I killed anything, even when it was not in my fucking hand.
Yeah,
and it's okay, yeah, no, that's worth
that
it.
Refund
just keep that
great.
on the fucking character. It's a third accessory slot.
Yeah. And so, and it turns out some of the buffs that go on your weapons, even if they're in your pockets, they still apply, right? So that's a huge deal for your build.
I would like it if they would put that forward in the next game, because I hate having multiple weapons equipped, but they all take the same equip load. Can I be the equip load of my shit when I switch to the fucking item that's on my hand, please?
Right, yeah. I mean, there's that. But then you also, of course, run the risk of turning every other weapon slot into a ring, essentially.
Yeah, good. Fucking sick.
Just put 5 rings on and have.
Let's do it.
But what I didn't, so what I got around to, on the last run was the Duchess, who glass cannon, boy do you die. You basically take one hit and you're done. She has like no life to start with, and you get that double dash, right? I apologize for not taking that character seriously. She's fucking incredible, and she's
Is it the double dodge that does it?
No, it's the time rewind ability, the ghost call.
Oh yeah,
right. That thing is phenomenal, and like we were just not seeing anyone using it properly, right? And on top of that, I picked up a I forgot what it's called, but those boons that you equip before the run that are like permanent changing.
The trinkets,
yes,
whatever the fuck you want to call them.
So I put on a trinket that was at the end of a light combo. You get a free restage.
Oh, that's
so.
That's
the last hit.
This is Marvel.
Yeah, the last hit of the quick combo causes the ghost to just to restage all that damage, whatever was going on. So I fucking put that thing on and just go to work, and it's unbelievable because like you get that going constantly, and then you back off and you wait for your team to do anything like clutch, and any really good play, bomb. Like, let's go, let's double it up,
Yeah.
I also had another like trinket that was plus to how fast my ult regains,
Yeah.
So like there's a lot of moments where you're just getting mobbed by way too many and then going invisible just to get a couple of backstabs in a row, and then restaging them. She's so fucking good. By the end,
it feels like the game is going to be extra mean because they're going to give you this level of ability juice.
Yeah, I switched to other weapons a couple times, and I was like, no, she works best with this fast deck stab. And anything slower than that is like going against, because she has to stick and move, and I went back to the default dagger for the whole run. At a certain point, I picked up like another like rapier, and I was like, okay, this is kind of fast. But that and the the iframes off of the double dodge, are just fantastic, man. So yeah, like getting to day 3, did you get to see any footage of it?
I am watching footage of day 3 right now while you're talking.
Because day 1 is, it's that first environment we all run through, your Limgrave-like area. Day 2, same area, but like the bosses get harder, everything gets a bit more aggressive, takes more damage, etc. But day 3, you just get teleported to a brand new final location.
Which is a big old boss fight.
Big old desert area. And that boss fight is the three-headed...
Wow, that's a cool fucking... Whoa,
three-headed, you get that three-headed Cerberus, and you're fighting it together, and then it does its big tail whips and stuff, and then splits into 3, and then you fight each of you fights ahead before it eventually comes back together, It's a lot of fun to kind of have those like split boss fight moments, because there's the heroes of I forgot of the fort area and such, where you're like there's a couple bosses where there's like, oh, there's 3 of them here for you each to take one. It's a race almost. Go, the little duders, the little doot spheres, you each go fighting one. That's a lot of fun, I kind of was able to just piece together like, those trinkets are massively game changing, hugely incredible abilities on those. Some of the things that some of the strategies involved, like we were fighting against the 3 knights, for example, that were in the forest at the end of day 2. Really, really like tough. But like one of the guys I was playing with hung back and kept a bow specifically for when someone would die. He'd drop a warming stone and then just bow and arrow your body from a distance.
That's smart.
Instead of going into the shit, they just like, and you just like, oh yeah, you just bow and arrow from a distance, get you back up, and then use that warming stone opportunity to heal at the same time, little strats you kind of see coming together, working out really well like that. And like, yeah, obviously like looking for syncing up with people's ults and restaging them. It really was just it was a lot of fun to kind of see the full pace of that stretch out. Your ability to withstand the rain as well. Like I did one run with some risky, crazy dude that was like, yeah, I'm going to run into the rain and like get the stuff.
There's stuff there.
That's worth it. Yeah, exactly. Right. And so by flying into the rain a couple times, and I was like, okay, I'm just going to follow. Like you've got it down. You go in and it's like, yeah, you know what? Almost dying, but getting an extra Estus sip is worth it. Hit that church up.
Yeah, no, that's definitely...
Hit the second church up, you know?
Definitely super worth it.
And by the end, we were, like, coordinated enough that, like, fighting a boss, like, and just, like, ganking it from all sides and, like, staggering into staggering. It's like, oh, no, we can take this boss out in about 15 seconds if we just go hard, you know?
If you get those good items and all that good synergy, yeah, absolutely. Like that lightning thing that I got, which is just, hey, roll and a lightning bolt fucking AoEs the fucking zone.
Roll and you get a lightning bolt. Zapping is one of them. Yep. Slow walk to get, what was it?
The arcane rain.
Rain going. And one that I picked up, and we saw it initially and didn't quite know what we were looking at. Whatchamacallit, Summon Swords.
Oh yeah?
Summon Swords is actually a post-boss buff that is every couple of seconds they'll regenerate.
It's so good.
You're not casting them. They just carrying great swords or what? Not great swords, whatever. Phalanx blades,
swords or whatever the fuck.
Yeah, they just resummon every couple seconds on their own. Those passives are the best I've ever seen.
I saw one in, I just checked out somebody's footage of them fighting the final boss, and they had one where hitting dash causes a giant ice explosion.
Yes, I got that one too.
That stays in place for like 10 seconds and causes frostbite.
Yeah.
It's like, that's so good.
Yeah, I got that. You start sprinting and you get hoarfrost explosion right at the start of that.
That's so good.
You know, just these we like. I don't know that like they're gonna. Those are your run winners essentially. You get one of those and you're like, oh, I have a fantastic fucking chance here to build around that ability, because it's free extra damage. It's like you know what I mean. It's like another party member just hanging out. In a lot of cases, doing normal actions you would otherwise regularly be doing, but they just cause extra damage to whatever's near you. Hades buffs, yeah, man.
I would like them to put this game out and for it to be good, and then I would like them to put an expansion out every year until there is a new Souls game.
I mean, they don't have to treat it like that. They can treat it they can update it even more frequently, you know? Every couple months they can drop us some shit for it.
Give me more, though. Like, I didn't even get to the final boss of that network test, and I'm already being like, give me more, though. Just put every single asset you've ever made into this.
Free. Easy, super easy to do, affordable as well. They don't have to spend too much extra money on the implementation there, you know. Do what all the modders have been doing, including dropping characters from the wrong game into,
just drop
you
them
know, and just letting it work. What was I gonna say though? Yeah, the one thing though is just that, like, again, it's scratching an itch. It's not going to be the same itch as fucking I want to do a run. Like
absolutely not. And the number one itch that it doesn't scratch is I would like to explore an interesting new area in a From Software game.
What it actually does is like that, hey, you know what? Let me load up some Apex right now. Or what, you know what I mean? Like one of those games, like
absolutely.
I've been
wanting a game that uses this system forever.
Yeah, it's taking over the where we drop in itch. More than anything Souls related, and you know, for sure the last day as well, like not the last day rather, but the Sunday, like a lot of people queuing in for those games as well were like okay, we all know, what I called happened, where people were just pinging the same areas going like, yep, we're going to hit the church, we're going to drop in, we're going to open that chest, we're going to take out that crucible or the perfumer, we're going to go up, turn around, there's going to be some good shit inside the treasure chest out there, hop up over the castle, make our way to the rise. Once you go to the rise, drop back down, go to the next church, get your sip, fight the dragon. You'll probably get by that point the rain's going to come in, chase the rain back to the camp, jump over the camp. If you have time, you can fight the misbegotten. If otherwise, go up to the top, take out that first boss, day one clear, and you got some good shit for it. That's
that
set.
Optimization is important to ruin with randomizing the map just enough that that doesn't work anymore. And instead, it just becomes, do I have time to get to this next spot? Yes, go. Hopefully there is something we can deal with there.
And, it would also be interesting to see characters get introduced that, like, really fucked with the system. For example, like someone that was like, actually, I can survive on my own without helping you guys. I have like an ability to create a bubble in the rain, or you know what I mean, or some sort of like survivability where I'm going to go off and get things that you guys don't have, or there's already like those trinkets I mentioned create unique goals. For example, getting a stone sword key and opening up an Everjail gives you a huge buff, but you have to accomplish that goal first.
It's interesting because, like, obviously everybody's going to be way more effective if they team up, do 3v1 on these bosses. But if everybody splits up, that means you are tripling the possibility that everybody gets the really good accessory that they want.
That's it, right? And or whatever the goals might be. I had a game as well where the game where we cleared it. One of the people I was playing with became essentially a support class that didn't exist. They became a perfumer that would shield us.
Oh, right.
And would heal us and would work together and used shopping and abilities to do support group shit, when none of the 4 classes are dedicated towards doing that right now. There's passive abilities that kind of help pick your friends up, and there's things where you can get a trinket that says every time you sip your Estus, if people are near you, they get a healing as well.
Oh, that's good.
Right? There's little things.
That's good.
Yeah, there's little things like that. But like someone going, I'm gonna buy stuff that generally supports the group and buffs the group, and enchantments that do that as well. Like you have a whole other type of class you've built yourself into. So yeah, the ability to have the freedom to do that type of shit as well with the characters is awesome. I
agree with chat. I think that either this game's final boss or maybe a hidden boss that you need to fulfill certain conditions with should be like White Glint or Rusty.
Something AC just drops in.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah. No, do it. Fucking do it.
Suddenly, just your computer's voice, like that guy, I forgot her name, but she just like that dialogue starts kicking in.
No, you know what it should be? It should be fucking Laughing Hyena. It should be fucking Patches.
I mean, that's free. Patches is going to be there. There's no chance that he's not. The only question is Patches going to be playable practically,
Yeah, that might be true.
Because you can take NPCs that are like, beloved characters and make them playable. There's no reason why not. They have simplified movesets. You have 3 things each character can do. You can take anyone that was standing around as a main character in those games and go for it, That would be super sick. But yeah, no, or even like I can see that being a sort of like DLC thing where it's like you want to play Patches, we have the Patches fucking playable thing.
I think it's absolutely insane that after all these years of saying when's Capcom going to come out with Capcom versus Capcom, that From Software came out with From Software versus From Software first.
Yeah, I mean,
or Elden Ring versus Dark Souls or whatever the fuck you want to call it.
You will see how far they go with it for sure. But like, no, the idea that like, okay, at the very minimum, maybe if you don't get playable Patches, you might be able to get like like a Patches helmet, or you know,
or Patches could be a unique event, something like Karen and Hades.
Yeah, you know, maybe you're picking up a Fume Knight Greatsword. You know what I mean? Maybe you're picking up a fucking a legendary weapon that you recognize from a thing, and then that's there too. Like, there's a lot. Like the Moonlight Greatsword's going to be there for sure. Obviously, it's just, well, you know, but like I don't know.
You should have to do something extra to get that fucking sword. Like that can't be dropping out of a chest. Like that must be like kill Seath.
Spend the entire day just getting that thing.
Yeah. And then it fulfills its usual promise.
That would be pretty cool. Oh yeah, no, the arcade rules that we can apply here mean anything's possible. But it was a really fun test. That was great. Good taste for what's going on. And like, yeah,
that's that. You play a game in this and like this type of limited beta, and I'm just like, I'm gonna fucking stream a lot of this fucking shit.
And I never thought we'd be here playing Smash Brothers roster games in our head with the FromSoft characters.
Yeah.
You know,
because they
Nefelli moves coming. Oh my god, yo, it's Nefelli. Like what? You know,
in their very first trailer, they're like, okay, that's the fucking centipede demon, and that's also the, what was his name, Gwyn's kid, the fucking
nameless king.
The nameless king. You're like, all right, well, those are fucking Dark Souls characters that, like, he's riding the goddamn dragon in there. So it's like, okay, it could be anybody. It could be anybody. You want to fight 3 Gwyns at once? Why not?
Would you purchase Havel DLC?
Yeah, fuck it.
Yeah. Okay, sure. Give me that. I'll go be Havel.
I'll have another fucking rematch with Artorias. Fuck it. Put me in. Artorias and Sif.
Ornstein and Smoke, and you can each pick one of the two. Okay, as a boss, certainly. But what if you played as one of each, and then you could fucking
no. The boss would be Artorias, Ornstein, and Smoke.
Oh God! At the same time. Yeah. No. What would actually happen is Solaire would be who they'd give you.
They'd give you Solaire, yeah.
Yeah, in fact, I would say any NPCs that were human, like made within the game engine, you know, have the highest shot, if anything. And Absolutely. Then anyone that's like a boss is a boss, because their logic already exists.
Well, one of the things they said is that the name of the boss is not the name of the boss that you pick on the character select. So, like, the actual boss's name is like Gladius.
Oh yeah.
But the name of the boss when you select it in the level is Trismegius or some shit, and they said that's intentional.
Yes.
Which to me says that you're going to be picking like Wolf Swordsman, and you're like, well, who can it be?
Yeah.
Anybody.
And then the day 3s are going to change, and then there's going to be like the big final progression points. So, very cool. Yeah, that's Nightreign. And you know, that's about that. Yeah, had a good time chilling.
Very good time. Thank you very much for having us. It was great to see you guys. Seriously.
Yeah, absolutely. Same here.
I want to gush with my appreciation. You made it a really great visit.
Thank you. It was a really great time seeing y'all. It was
and the
super
baby
cool.
really likes all you guys.
Yeah. Yeah, Reggie got a pound.
Yeah, Reggie got a little fist bump. He got
dapped up.
Oh man.
So, just while we're talking Montreal, just threw this out there. I don't know if you saw, but like apparently they announced today that we're finally getting the Quebec to Montreal to Toronto Shinkansen.
So hey man, so you know when you graduate from your college or your university, and you still have somebody that you know that goes there, and in the very next semester after you've graduated, they're like, hey, you know that thing you complained about every single fucking day? Yeah, they're fixing it.
Yeah.
That's very much what's happening. And it's like, oh man, that fucking thing. Well, granted, it's 6 years from now.
Yes. But the 300 kilometer per hour high speed rail train is finally getting built, and it's going to do 3 hours.
TO to Ottawa.
3 hours, Montreal to Toronto. Yeah,
it's going to be TO, Ottawa, Montreal, Laval, Trois-Rivières, and Quebec City.
Holy shit. Our entire lives span been waiting for that.
The 401 can go fuck itself. Yeah. Fuck that piece of shit.
I mean, like, but just also like in Japan, riding that fucking super train and just, you're like, why can't anywhere else on the planet figure this out? Why just?
Well, the reason is really simple, because the time it takes to build the train is longer than the election cycle. That's the reason.
Oh, yeah.
That's the reason.
Dear God, that sucks. So this is cool. This is fucking, that's a big deal.
And like, it doesn't benefit me directly at all, because I'm on the west side of the country, and the west side of the country, like, let's say they did like fucking Edmonton all the way out to Halifax, right? It's like, they're not going to put this through the Rockies for like fucking 20, 30 years. Like, it's the Rockies, right?
Yeah.
But let me tell you, as somebody who just took a very arduous trip with dog, baby, wife, and me from the Vancouver airport to the Montreal airport, hey man, do you know what's like the easiest airport in this country to reach? Fucking Toronto. It's like
YYZ.
You go on direct flight to Toronto and then hopping on a train for a couple hours. That's 1,000,000 times easier.
It would be really nice if train alternative. I mean, we have obviously we have a rail system, but like high speed to get places.
Yeah, the train from fucking Toronto to Montreal takes like a day, and
that's
it's like super expensive.
No, like being able to do Toronto as a day trip is an insane thought. But it's,
so you know what, Wooly? I think that I'm going to keep my ass out of an airplane for a little while.
Perhaps.
I think that maybe now is the time to plant my butt and chill the fuck out.
Yeah. Yeah, kind of wild how both of our last trips were
immediately
followed by wild shit.
I got to tell you, and this is obviously personal, and I'm talking about the Delta crash in Toronto, which fucking thank God nobody died.
Yeah.
So hey, that's great. So I'm you know what's the worst place to read about a plane crash is fucking taxiing onto the runway. I'm like, what's new in the world? Oh shit. And then I made the big mistake of going, hey, wife, who's terrified of flying, check this out.
Yeah, don't.
So there was some hand gripping.
Some hand gripping. That's a bad call.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I told her I loved her and that everything was going to be fine.
You know, there's also
I shuffled in my seat with my broken belt and my falling down pants.
There's a reason why Final Destination is not selectable on the movies you can watch list, you know.
But we arrived safe and sound, no problems. I tell you what, though, you oh man, I don't know if you saw this because Paige transcribed it on social media, but we're standing waiting for the plane to board, right? And we happen to be at one of those gates in Montreal where you can look out the window and just see straight in the cockpit. And I looked over there and went, oh, hey. And this is like, the packed gate where like everybody's just waiting for that last 10 minutes. Hey, you can see the pilots through the glass. And Paige went, yeah, really? And I went, yeah, you can see them jarking each other off a little bit. And I get hit with the good ass, like one of my favorite emotions in this world is your wife going, oh my God, shut up. And then right before that becomes like, what? And the two old guys directly behind me sitting down start going like into their coughing hands. And
nice.
I go, what?
There you go.
What? It's fine.
Got him.
It's fine.
Mission accomplished.
Oh.
Yeah. So that's pretty much that.
Just those pre-flight jitters, man. You gotta take care of that.
Anything else you're going to throw on top of the week there?
Yeah, for people who didn't know it, because I talked about it briefly on my stream, but there's 4 child behaviors that are normal, and you'll get 2, and you don't want them, but you'll have to deal with them. Biting, hitting, running, and climbing. We knew that my boy was a climber, and we've discovered that the second behavior is running.
Oh, well, yeah, isn't that just human beings? We use our feet. You know, you learn how to run, and then you're like, I can do that? I can get there faster?
And this was discovered in the airport.
Oh, no. Oh, no. Fuck. Okay. Okay, the kid clicked R3 for the first time in the airport.
Okay, buddy, I'm going to put you down while I get the... Oh, shit! Oh, go! Oh, fuck!
Roadie run, camera shaking.
Oh, my God, dude. Oh, my God. Just...
Oh, boy.
So luckily, he's a little baby, so he's not that fast, but he's just fast enough that at one point I had to like run and you know do the scoop, like the under the arms like scoop, because he was gonna like fucking run into the back kitchen of a Tim Hortons.
Oh my God. Oh boy.
And I'm like, no, not for you, baby.
Shit.
So we're probably gonna get one of those fucking little backpacks for the baby that conveniently has a dad or mom tether onto the backpack to make sure that you can't lose the backpack, and the fact that it happens to be securely attached to the child is just a nice little bonus.
The kid leash.
Oh fuck yeah, dude.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay.
It's like, oh yes, the leash is very demeaning for the child, and you know what is also demeaning for child's trucks.
Yeah, booking it mid diaper change, just going, I'm done with this.
So we're talking to my mom, right? Because now that you have the baby, you talk to your mom, and the mom tells you all this shit that's new, despite the fact that it's old. And she's like, oh yeah, you know, I had one of those for Patrick. I'm like, you did? I was a leash
You
baby?
were leashed.
I didn't know that.
Damn.
You should have us.
You got astral chained. That's great. Just wow.
And
okay.
she also told me that like back in the day she had, you know, those little tiny plastic strollers that you can fold up real easy.
Yeah.
That was my stroller, and she said that before she used like the little backpack leash thing, that I would attempt to escape the stroller and fucking go. And like that's why strollers now, you staple the children in like it's a car seat.
I guess the thought process is like, okay, how many times does that leash get maxed out? If the answer is frequently, then the
answer is once, then you've made the right decision.
The justification has occurred.
Right. Because like I'm sure you have lived in the world. You've seen a fucking 5-year-old just fucking sprint out into traffic, and even if you saw it walking by, you went,
yeah. The hope is that you're like everyone can move faster than the kid's little legs can carry, but
yeah,
you look away for a second, I'm sure, and
so like I had him by his hand, and my dad and baby are walking, and people are smiling, and then he went and yanked his fucking hand out, and like so fast, I was and like okay, no, we're gonna restrain this child from his own dangerous impulses.
Okay.
And then apparently just never mention it again, Mom. How did I not know I was a least child until like 3 days ago?
I mean,
how did that never come up one time?
Well, clearly it was stopped early enough that, you know, the memory never formed, so that's good.
I guess.
You don't want to get old enough to remember.
But yeah, hey, so that's pretty much it for me. Visiting you was great. Visiting my mom and dad was great. So glad I don't live in Montreal anymore. We'll never go back to live. Cool. Might visit maybe later one day, probably not.
Love it. Great city.
Bye.
Super cool. Awesome. Can't wait for the train.
Yeah, no, that train's gonna be good.
Can't wait for the shinny.
Maybe I'll take a trip on a little train because I like the train. If you want to see more of my stupid crap, go down to twitch.tv/Pat Stares At. Fucking Pirate Yakuza comes out tomorrow.
Oh, wow. That was fast.
It sure is. It's almost like they release them more than once a year.
I thought.
Almost.
Huh. When did 8 come out? Or was it early?
Fucking 2 months ago. That's not true. Hold on, let me check it out. Infinite Wealth release date was January of last year.
Oh,
So
wow.
10 and a half months later.
Yeah, they turned it around in just about a year. Cool.
Or sorry, no, 13 months later.
Yeah, so no, over on my end, so yeah, Reggie's off for the week, and with that, I'm taking the opportunity to have some shit to do, so no normal stream, potentially something Friday, but I will post it up on my socials, so yeah, Woolly Wolves on Blue Sky and such, and Woolly Versus on Twitter and not Twitter, on YouTube and Twitch. Let's take a quick bathroom break.
I'm gonna do it.
BRB. Alrighty. Yes, I forgot to mention on Sunday there is the Regime Royale City of the Wolves exhibition being...
I'm sorry?
Rome himself, one commentator for the FGC, jumps on a lot of SNK games, is holding the Regime Royale, which is a City of the Wharves exhibition. Excuse me, and a bunch of different creators and players, and I believe I saw an Evo champ in there as well. So shit's wild. There's going to be some exhibition matches, and yeah, me and Reggie are scheduled to jump on and get some games there. So
fantastic.
Yeah, take a look there. It'll be on Sunday. I don't know the full details as to when, but that's going on. And potentially Friday I might jump on if I can figure out the schedule thing.
Figure it out.
We'll figure it out. But...
Wait a second. That's when I'm going to try and jump on.
Oh, would you look at that?
Yeah, go figure it out.
Wow. Yeah. So we'll take a look. It's not a tournament, by the way. I believe it's an exhibition with people playing each other. So just FYI. Cool. Yeah. Shout outs to Rome. Good stuff. And shout outs to an open beta that is open to everybody for the entire duration of the days that it's running.
So that's wild, but at the same time, like the Nightreign thing was like, I bet you anything they ran those 3-hour tests and then they turned some dials and they're like, is it gonna work better?
For sure.
Because that shit was fucked on day one.
Yeah, that is what a network stress test is supposed to do, after all. The thing that's most fun for the players would be least helpful for the devs. So, yeah. It sucks, but I get it. I just think that, like, what games should do is, like, think about your first time touching it as, like, give the players more, and then you can almost like have a first thing where it's more about, like, people are going to be experiencing this for the first time. First impressions matter, you know. And then, like, okay, the more technical things can kind of follow. Although admittedly in a network type situation you don't know what you're getting. Like if it's a botch the whole time and they have to shut the servers down for the entire, like, first day anyway, then it ends up being a wash regardless. So
hey, you know what, man,
it's hard.
I think they did the right thing because the network test showed us that From Software's biggest fucking weakness is network connectivity. And it still is. So fucking fix that shit.
Lot of drops that were not necessarily salty drops, you know. Yeah. Anyway, so we're gonna warp it up a bit there. I don't know if you saw what I was putting up with, like, yeah, like, charge characters are fucking dead, man. It's over.
I totally agree with you that it fucking sucks.
Like,
hey, if Balrog comes to Street Fighter 6, fucking God is my witness. He must be charged.
It's you know, I mean, the legacy characters, like the new characters showing up and not being charged is almost like to be expected because that's the way things are going.
But Guile can't fucking quarter circle a Sonic Boom. He's not allowed.
Yeah. Now Buttons did point out, and very, very fair counterpoint is that, like, in a game with just defense guard canceling, which is essentially you just defend and then immediately do a special move, or in a game with the rev system where you go from one special into another, not having the charge, right, to cancel from one into the other, puts that character at a disadvantage. Because,
absolutely.
Right.
But when we talk about fighting games, we're obviously talking about Street Fighter and Virtua Fighter.
Well, so the interesting thing is that, like, in terms of doing one charge move into another, there's, like, two ways to go about that, right? There's one that is like, think of Balrog with the full-on charge down forward, right? Or no, rather, charge down back, and then keeping. You're going. Let me get this right, because you played him, like, you're going from down back to down forward, and then
up
and then
down forward to up forward.
Yeah, and then holding the down and then going up for the headbutt afterwards. Exactly, right?
Yeah,
so you're calling and that's such a unique, crazy, awesome thing.
It's fun, right? It's fun to do.
It's such a cool, specific thing where like, oh, you're doing a charge move from back to front, holding the down, and then using it later. It's like a unique, really interesting scenario to have that be possible. And then the other thing is, Blanca in 6 with his Ultra 2 and with his level 2, and Ash Crimson in KOF both have these installs that let them just do no charge, back forward, up down, whatever, down up, just go right into the input. And then and it lets you string one into the other, So I was like thinking hypothetically, if you just defend guard cancel and just go down up, or whatever the case, and you don't have the charge because you didn't expect you weren't holding a charge when you did a perfect just defend there, you can potentially get away with having it be like, okay, a chargeless scenario. But whatever the case is, it's the type of thing that it even if you're, it's weird because people that go like, I have a hard time with them, I don't get how to use them. I'm like, it's weird because they're easier to use. Like
No, they're not.
You get the hang of doing charge inputs, like in a lot of cases faster than doing.
That's not the issue. The issue isn't doing a charge motion in a vacuum.
It's in the fight, right? It's how to mask it. It's how to use it
way harder.
Unexpectedly. It's a different thing, right? But in terms of getting the move out, period, that initial thing is like a simpler basic input.
So someone in the chat says Zawa Emma says they require too much forethought, and that's basically the thing. You're most people learning
to use it in the fight. Buttons. Yeah, learning to use it in the fight. Exactly. Learning to calm down and be patient and hold is antithetical to like if you're just learning to just press buttons right away. For sure, totally get that. But no, I think that it does elicit like a different, fun, unique style of play that you don't. If everything just was
I love charge characters.
Motion over the years, then like a lot of emergent kind of design elements to these characters wouldn't be the same, so yeah, I hope that we don't see them going fully fucking extinct. But anyway,
Guile will live on, and if Balrog ever comes back, he will have his shit.
When a legacy character gets changed into motion, it hurts a bit more than a new character just always being that,
and here's where is Kane from Garrus, is he a legacy character? He's fucking been in one game.
Yeah, that counts, man. That counts. Yes. Yes, absolutely. If you existed, then that's it, like, yeah.
I never in my life thought I would see Kane ever again in anything.
I thought he would show. I thought that like if Garrus wasn't happening, that he'd show up in like KOF. Like those. Yeah. I felt like those characters would show up eventually down in that line. Pianoing being gone makes sense. There's that you just don't need. I get it. And this is someone who learned how to piano. Like mashing input things is like
absolutely. Yeah. That's an arcade stick thing that makes less sense in a world in which most people play fighting games on controllers.
But yeah, so we'll see. Let's take a quick word from our sponsors.
Bro, I love these sponsors.
This week's podcast is sponsored by Rocket Money. That is the service for helping you find any subscriptions that you forgot about, because guess what? When you sign up for online subscriptions, like the whole point is to make you forget, actually.
Bro, I forget that shit all the time.
Literally the entire design, everything we're trying to do, everything we want, all we want to do is get you to sign up for something and then completely forget that you ever did. And then
I sure did.
And this watch as your monthly credit card bills are like, what the fuck? What company is this? What are you even talking about?
Can we have a law that makes credit card purchases like understandable?
That would be great. Seeing things run through shell companies, through other names that are like not remotely, it's like, oh, this media company owns like this spot, and this place has the thing that's the actual thing you're subscribed to, and you can't tell what's what. It's insane. And no, I've told the story many a time about like 4 or 5 levels of obfuscation where you have to like use the app to get to go to the website to unsubscribe, to then get sent an email which is only active for 5 minutes, and then like the most hoops you've ever had to jump through. And they're scummy. It's garbage. It sucks. And I hate it. So that is where Rocket Money is particularly handy, is they can help you find subscriptions you forgot about, anything that jumps in price that you didn't know was getting a price bump or so, or the notification was something that you missed or so. It can keep track of those as well. It can cancel subscriptions for you. And yeah, even the most time-consuming, annoying processes that they put you through as well, it can cancel those subscriptions quite easily, keeping track of whatever is going on there. So it's a weird service that is super useful to exist in a weird time when this new type of way to lose money has come into existence. I don't know that I've talked about parent confusion marketing becoming a thing, and then game confusion marketing becoming a thing of like, you think you're buying one thing, your parents don't know what they're getting, they can't tell the difference between one thing or the other. All of that. The way subscription services work these days are just all about you completely getting confused. So in addition to all of that, of course, it can also keep track of whatever your goals are financially that you're setting to keep, make sure that you're on top of what your month-to-month spending is like. And it is very easy to use. It keeps all of your subscriptions and keeps track of all of that in one place. So, take a look. You can... The stats are over 5 million users have saved a total of 500 million in canceled subscriptions, saving members up to $740 a year when using all of the app's premium features. That's a lot of money. So
I could go for $740.
So cancel your unwanted subscriptions and reach your financial goals faster with Rocket Money. Go to rocketmoney.com/superbeast today. That's rocketmoney.com/superbeast. rocketmoney.com/superbeast.
Thanks, Rocket Money.
Thanks, Rocket Money. If only our memories weren't dog shit.
My memory's goddamn terrible. It's getting worse. I'm remembering all this video game stuff, but I can't remember how to do things, like important things.
That's bad. That's not good. People are going to take advantage of that.
Yeah, well, hopefully I won't know what's going
on. This week, the podcast is also sponsored by boot.dev. Shout outs to boot.dev. Super fun way to go about helping people learn how to get into programming. In particular, Python and Go programming languages. If you want to get into the world of learning how to code and getting a job in programming, according to the Stack Overflow statistics, a median salary for back-end developers in 2023 was over $100,000 in the US. So it is a particularly good job. Pretty nice if you learn how to program. And then also, every time I've been part of a project with a game or something like that, just the person who knows how to code, how to program, you can just iterate, move forward. If you have a game idea, you yourself can just handle, you yourself can handle the workload of just getting it out there and taking a look at, what it looks like to get your ideas out into the world quickly. So programming is a super useful tool, always handy to have. And boot.dev is a really fun way to learn how to do that. Instead of, going through a really boring giant textbook, instead of going through really boring lessons and struggling with all of that, it is like an RPG. It's a website that's set up that kind of has like an RPG gamified system. You're earning XP as you do different challenges that are, asking you to code to solve the puzzle or to escape the area you're in. You're going to level up as you successfully complete more of those challenges. You unlock achievements, you complete quests. There's a global leaderboard as well. Last I checked, is they had an arc of a current storyline going. There's different seasons of content, and
Bro, my gamer brain is ruined. I need game analogs to learn how to do anything.
Straight up, yeah.
I'm so screwed up.
And everybody that's like learning how to code can fight against like the boss of the current chapter and contribute to damage and work together to move the story to the next area. So, it's like, it's a really useful thing, but also, yes, our brains need gamification to stay.
Give me my dopamine
to stay locked in. Really, really cool idea. They've also got a really great Discord where lots of folks are around to help with anybody that's learning, looking for support, got questions, and you want to talk to other programmers as well. There's a free demo of every course and all its interactive features. There's a 30-day no questions asked refund policy. And you can take a look, because again, a lot of students, of course, are going to want to be able to check this out, and they want to make sure that they're getting their money's worth. You can take a look at every one of those courses for free initially, and give it a test. And again, there's that 30-day no questions asked refund policy as well. So if you want to get into programming and you want to learn Python and Go, and you want to do it in the fun way, check out boot.dev. Use the code CastleSuperBeast to get 25% off your entire first year if you choose the annual plan. Once again, that's boot.dev, and use our code CastleSuperBeast, and you'll get 25% off your entire first year if you choose the annual plan. Thank you very much, boot.dev.
Thanks, boot.dev.
All right.
What is our piece of news? I know there's one we're going to talk about because it fucking sucks.
There's a couple of them. Where do
you want to start?
Well, how about this? When you are trying to dethrone Overwatch,
that's right.
You've got to learn how to think like Overwatch.
That's right.
You've got to become the Overwatch.
Fuck yeah.
And to become the Overwatch, you have to master the art of the sandwich.
Oh, what's that?
The Blizzard.
What sandwich is that?
The Blizzard sandwich.
Oh, yeah?
Mm-hmm. What if we hit you with a little bit of Human Torch?
Yeah?
Massive layoffs.
What?
And The Thing.
Oh, I like The Thing. Oh, he's got a big punch.
And a big sandwich. All together. It's almost like I didn't notice the filling.
What? Oh, okay. So the massive layoffs it is like 7 people. It's like the Seattle team that was like to help out
the entire US support team.
In the US support team. And hey, it's a Chinese game. This is China, they're out in China. Like, what do they need Americans for? I mean, they're only working on Marvel Comics properties.
I apologize. I didn't know that it was 7 people total. I thought it was a much larger studio. Okay. That being okay, so I apologize for the use of the word massive. That was an incorrect word to use.
Sometimes 7's really massive, dude. Come on.
So yeah, this was a bit confusing initially because the first reports were Marvel Rivals director laid off and entire team.
That was bad.
And it was like, what is going on here? And then it was like, oh, okay, it's the US team, and there was confusion, and they didn't, and none of the people knew what was happening or why. And so further clarification, it seems as if basically they had a research and development and level design team in the US, and NetEase seems to just be pulling out of America and just go and basically being like, I guess the plan is to do everything in China going in future, except for community management.
Honestly, genuinely. But they did totally time it between the two fucking reveals.
Okay, so the weirdness of it being the director into not the director, a support US team, that's certainly not the same story. It is dog shit to announce that randomly, or to not announce it, for the people themselves to discover it and publish that and post that in the middle of the day where you're announcing the latest patch updates and the 2 character trailers, right? That reads as a very clear, let's bury the story or bury the news by just putting this shit out there.
You see thing? He's got pants.
And that's horseshit, right? Small team, large team, support team, not team. Like, that's just, don't do that shit. That feels fucking bad. That sucks. Why do that? Super lame. And I would also say, too, that, like, you know, the game is an insanely successful hit. It is.
Yeah, so I think
crushing
the lead
it.
on this is, hey, you know what? We did a really bad job on Concord. You're fired. Oh, okay. But you told me to do that. Wow, suck it. Hey, we did a really good job helping out with Marvel Rivals. Hey, you're fired, but we did a good job. You're fucking fired.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Doing a good job doesn't matter. Yeah. I've also seen, you know, and then some discourses like, well, the research and development phase is done. They don't need them. It's like, that's not the way that works. It's an ongoing. No, well, that's what I'm saying is like, that is a dishonest thing. Like it is an ongoing live service game. There will always be new content coming. There will always be new modes, like these games more than any other genre constantly have new types of content and new things going on with them. The ongoing need for that could support a team of people that are in charge of working on those things over time.
Americans like girls with big butts. We figured it out.
Yeah. So
fire them. We don't need them anymore.
You know, so before, like in as much as it is not that initial story that was confusing about the way it was reported. We don't need anyone diving in going, stay away from the corporation! Don't.
Oh, man. Who do you want to defend? Fucking one of the largest Chinese gaming companies in the world?
You
don't
need to dive in front of the fucking NetEase. Like,
listen. China and Mickey Mouse they've got this. It's good, man. Don't worry about it.
Don't you dare attack my corporation. Back off, I'll cut you. Yeah, no, you know, it's just why sandwich that shit on the same day, man? Come on.
Oh, because I mean, you go to fucking Marvel Rivals channel and they're talking about the Thing and the Human Torch breakdown.
Yeah,
and that's the thing that'll get more views.
Yeah. No. Guang Guang is going into the details on the character, and you know what, you see that Thing costume and he's wearing the suit and he's got the hat on and it's like, he looks so cool, and he says,
I love the Thing,
and he says it's clobbering time.
If that character did not say it's clobbering time and Johnny didn't say flame on, that would be the most fucking ridiculous fucking miss. You know what? You know what would have been really great if they're like, we don't need the American R&D team anymore. And then the Thing came out and he said, it's time to smash. And you're like, oh my God.
The smashing begins now.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Holy fuck.
Yeah. See, here's one of these times though where I am curious because like, so being online, being, you know, getting cutting edge industry news and updates and such, it feels, I'm like, oh, this feels like you've poured water on whatever you're announcing because you've done the stupid Blizzard sandwich thing, right? Mm-hmm. And everybody hates that shit, and it adds a bad you lose goodwill that people have been enjoying with the game by doing this shit, right?
Oh no. My brain just auto-completed the stupidest series of thoughts possible.
Mm-hmm.
Because I just remember when Blizzard announced that you are gay. Do you remember that?
What was it again?
You, the player.
You, the player. Yes.
And
You're
then
right.
my brain just fired up this fucking random skeet from like weeks ago that was the phrase, I became Chinese in prison.
What is that?
It's what a Yakuza villain would say.
Okay.
Is what it is.
Gotcha.
And then I'm just like, hey guys, the Lunar Festival's almost over, but don't worry, you were Chinese all along.
The whole time.
Don't worry about it.
Secretly revealed. You didn't know it. Yep. You secretly were. Yeah.
Oh, that's right. Shenmue. Years ago, I was Chinese. Yeah, I remember that. That's a real quote. That's
damn.
real.
Shenmue. I don't even remember.
What a pile of fucking shit that game is. Oh my god. I'm glad we got 25 Yakuza games instead.
What was I was in the middle of saying? I was saying something. Anyway.
Wait, did that happen?
Oh, no. Yeah.
That did happen! That did happen! I forgot. Oh, anyway, don't worry about it.
What?
It did happen that characters became Chinese in prison in a Yakuza game.
That were not Chinese
that
before.
Did occur.
Okay, gotcha. Okay. Understood. No, I was just gonna say that, like, I feel like sometimes because of like the way we get information, it's hard to step back, zoom out, and see like what the feeling is at large. And so a game this big, like, there's no way that like this type of story or news or whatever would ever like be more than a flicker of a dent of any kind whatsoever in the larger announcement of like the big new content update. But it does certainly feel like, at least from the weird front-facing industry bubble that we are in, that like a lot of people are like, well, that fucking sucks, NetEase, right? That's a bad feeling thing to associate with this new update. And
absolutely.
And it's just like, does that fall off happen? Does that end like 5 minutes after? You know?
Oh, Wooly, most people aren't even going to get this news.
Yeah, I guess so. The
people listening to this are hyper enthusiasts.
So that's all I wonder is just like, I'm like, oh, is the people that are kind of all sort of being like, yeah, that felt shitty. Is that just
who gives a fuck?
Yeah.
They don't care.
No,
give video game now.
Of course they don't. I'm just saying that, like, when Blizzard does this shit and it's like the level that they fuck up at, you torpedo goodwill over.
Well, the difference is that
massive
Blizzard
gestures
built
of
up
stupidity.
that goodwill over decades. Right? NetEase doesn't have the same cultural cachet.
Mm-hmm.
And on top of this, after all of that, there's a intermediate little general zeitgeist within the type of people who look at this news, which is like, hey, you should join a union, which is then followed up by, so that the company can leave your country forever, like Amazon.
Burn it all down, shut it all down. Yeah. I mean, I did see the Montreal Amazon workers protesting and doing their thing like a couple days ago. So that is cool. But like, boy, is that an instantaneous, like, press the button to fold an entire company into a box and have it Prime delivered back to America.
So the trick is that if we want to get unions working for Amazon in Canada, it's up to our American brothers and sisters down south for y'all Amazon workers to start a union. Go for it, boys. We're right behind you.
Good luck. Anyway, so there's a little bit of that going on. There are theories, of course, that perhaps some of that R&D that was just laid off, maybe you can pick up the slack with Microsoft's Muse generative AI model that's capable of creating gameplay ideation videos. That was just announced. And then the video got delisted, I think, and then part of it was up.
Hey, did you watch these videos?
The people talking about it, I could not handle, so no. But I watched some of the. I watched the gameplay ones.
Yeah, I watched the gameplay ones.
Them talking about it.
Can I just reiterate my earlier statement from social media, which is, hey, let's put all ethical and practical considerations aside. Yo, this stuff looks like shit, bro.
It looks pretty bad.
Who the fuck is this for? This looks like garbage.
But the idea is basically that it is trained on what is it? Trained on, what was the game here? Let me pull it up. What was the game? Ninja Theory's
Bleeding
Edge. There we go. Bleeding Edge by Ninja Theory. And so basically you feed in a little bit of gameplay and then it goes on to sort of generate what it predicts would be more gameplay. So if you were, trying to not level design and not come up with gameplay ideas, it could just throw a couple out there.
Hey man, the real purpose of this, man, is for game preservation, and so that you can be like, hey, I would like to play a togi, and it will give you what your friend's description through Google Translate of what a togi might look like, that has horrible input delay and is constantly visually shifting in a fucking nightmare form. I have watched multiple people on YouTube go into this gameplay AI shit, and they all suffer from the same problem. Have you noticed these clips are always really short? Really short?
Well, yeah.
You know why that is?
Well, they're generated, right? It's
because they completely fail integrity after like a minute. They completely slop out after like literally 60 seconds.
And then, you wait a little bit of time, and then they throw more into it and crank the juice up, and and it goes on and on. But the overall thing is like, okay, so I guess it's to not have level designers, and it
is to appease shareholders and just to see something with Gen AI. It has no realistic reality function.
Take a screenshot and then turn it into like the equivalent of a vertical slice without being a vertical slice. It's a vertical bite.
This is a fucking investment scam. Yeah. This has absolutely no value in any context whatsoever.
Well,
this will never be used.
Well, thank you, Microsoft Research blog. Good stuff. Good stuff.
Can I point out that this is so ethically and creatively bankrupt that not even the name is unique? Unity's Gen AI pile of shit is called Unity Muse.
How about that? I didn't know.
It's literally not even the first Gen AI Muse.
Well,
they stole even the name. Like, come on.
The flavor is extra strong with this set with layoffs and such going rampant. But hey, there you go.
This is so, Microsoft's so fucking cooked, man. Like this is like a fucking death fucking rattle.
Speaking of cooked.
Yeah.
Headline: Funko Fusion is deemed a complete commercial and critical failure.
This is the part where I look up what Funko Fusion is.
That would be the Funko Pop game that came out last year. And
the fuck is this?
Yeah, exactly. Precisely, right? Now here's the thing. You know me. I keep a bottle of champagne ready to pop every time a story like this happens, and it just it's a little bit of like, okay, good, let's start correcting, right? Let's let nature start healing again. However, this story is also hand in hand delivered with, and thus the studio that made it laid off 20 people that worked on the game, which obviously fucking sucks. And it's kind of like, how about firing the execs involved in the dog shit idea of a project instead of the people that got assigned to just working on it?
Nah, man, shit rolls downhill.
How about the people who thought this idea was worth executing on? Fucking just get...
Wally.
Yeah.
Shit rolls downhill. It doesn't work like that.
Yeah.
The people who made the bad decision are also in charge of the firing.
Well.
Hey, you should form a fucking union. Anyway.
Just as said exec is boxing their things up, just to give them a Funko of themselves.
Yeah.
In memory.
I'm just thinking of a Funko Pop burning in effigy.
Oh, but then
how funny that is in my own mind.
And then there's piss inside.
Do you even know that story?
No, I just know you keep talking about Funko Pops full of piss, and now that's the default contents of a Funko Pop to me.
Well, what do you think is in that story? What do you think pieces of that story contain?
Okay, nowadays when something comes up and I have no idea what's going on, I assume it's happening on TikTok. And
no, this is a page story.
Okay.
This is a real life story from my wife.
Okay.
And Funko Pops and piss.
Okay, so because I assume usually that's the case, and that if this is happening in real life. Okay, well, it can't be like I was like, okay, maybe like some weird shit from years ago in childhood, but no, because Funko Pops are from adulthood.
It has to be relatively recent.
Yeah, Funko Pops are from adulthood, so it can't be that far back. Hopefully, was it the dog? Did the dog?
No, brother, no. So I don't even remember all the details.
It's the head, though. The big head.
The long and short of it is the page. You know, you end up in somebody's house, and it's a friend of a friend. And on the way to and from the bathroom, you discover that there is a line of Funko Pops that reek with 10 feet piss smell. And you're like, what the fuck is going on here? And then you run away.
Okay. They're in the splash zone.
Yeah, no, they're not in the bathroom. They're elsewhere. They're on the Funko Pop piss shelf.
Oh, they're just getting wafted?
No, that's what they're for. You know what? You go ahead and ask her to tell you the full story, because I don't remember it very vividly because I wasn't there.
Okay.
Oh, somebody in the chat remembers. Paige went to someone's house. Their house smelled funny. Room full of Funkos. Whole room smells of human piss. Paige bails.
Okay. I thought it was that they were lined up in the splash zone in the bathroom.
No, sir.
Is what you're saying.
The splash zone was the bedroom.
Okay.
And the Funkos were the targets. And so ever since then, I'm just like, Funkos are just filled with piss.
Right. Yes. Well, you know, that's why the game didn't stand a chance. You know?
That's why, because everyone remembered that story, and they're like, wow, those little pistols.
Because I'm thinking about the fluid dynamics of how a head could store some inside if it's
empty?
hollow enough. Yes, that's what I'm assuming, right? That there's like enough room to, you know. And it's
my god! Dude, I am at the Funko Piss Power Steam page, and I did not know that this feature on Steam exists. There are positive reviews on this game, and I did not know that developers could respond to individual reviews on the Steam store page. There are multiple oh my god, there's so many there's a developer response to every single one of these top reviews. Let's find out. Buggy game crashes. It is horrible. Thank you for leaving a review. We really appreciate you taking the time. Since your review, we have made a bunch of updates to improve gameplay and performance, blah, 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 blah. That is... Ooh.
Okay. So, when you go to the Netherlands, if you ever go to Amsterdam, when you fly over there, they give you a little collectible, like, model house.
Is that to piss on?
The model house has a little bit of booze in it.
Oh yeah,
right. It's a little house-shaped booze bottle as a collectible thing. That's that's what I'm imagining.
You know what you can fill that bottle with, bro.
That's what I'm imagining. Something constructed in the same way with a similar delivery system. Yeah. You know, and the head, and you can just you swirl it around, and you hear the inside, and you're just like, And then as you but then after the first couple shakes, it stops swirling because it froths up.
Yeah.
And it gets a little bubbly, so you can't really shake it as much.
Yeah, that's when the smell is at its richest. Oh.
Fermentation.
Oh yeah.
Funko fermentation is finally occurred.
Jesus Christ. Don't piss on stuff. Hey, that's my advice for the day. Is dad, don't piss on things. Piss in the toilet.
That's the place.
That's a good. Yeah. That's a good advice for everybody.
I mean, or on the Funko Pops. Like, quite frankly,
yeah, sure, whatever.
I can't stop you.
If a Funko Pop was outside, I'd piss on it. I'll be honest.
Please look forward to the limited edition Jenkem Funko Pops.
That's good. That's good.
Everyone's a fan of something.
Yeah.
All right. Look, Hollow Knight got delisted on the Silksong got delisted on the US eShop on Nintendo, and it's still up in the other places. But
it got put back.
Did it? Okay, because I was okay. Well, then it's not a story. I thought.
Oh, you know what? They were changing it to add Switch 2 to its thing.
I thought it was it's coming down to go back up for Switch 2. Okay,
it was really funny.
No,
then it happened. It was like, give me a fucking break.
All right, well then nothing and never mind. Cool new games. Check out this game called Class 07.
Oh, you got sent that too, huh?
I just saw the footage of it. So it's up on Steam. It just looks like a really cool cell shaded high school thing, and you're a student kicking lawn chairs and benches around off of walls, and it's ricocheting at people. Shit looks rad.
They put up a fucking they put up a blue skeet of that girl using a fucking plastic virtual chair to take people out. Animation
looks cool. Style is good. Just the high school beat 'em up style brawler bit, and physics takedowns, good animation.
This is about as woolly coated as anything has ever been.
Oh yeah, I'm all about that. So add to your wish list. That's the thing that's happening.
Looks cool.
Another and similar in terms of like cell shaded action game as well. So this is more so in the vein of a Naruto Ultimate Ninja Storm like. There's a game called The Hidden Ones that is just put out some footage and looks really nice. It's definitely got that, like, you're seeing the CyberConnect Naruto game style influence in the camera movement when the gameplay starts. Every time you go into a super and it just becomes like fully detailed anime cutscenes and shit like that. People that played a lot of Naruto are making their arena fighter that overall visually definitely notably impressive.
But does it play
like Naruto? Probably.
Good.
If it plays like an arena fighter, then it plays like an arena fighter. But I'd like to call attention to it because it looks really fucking like visually impressive, I find.
It does look pretty cool.
Yeah. That's called The Hidden Ones. And yeah, I mean, that's pretty much the deal. Only other thing is just if anybody wants to pick up the Canadian GameStop franchise or France GameStop franchises, you can purchase them.
Yeah, you can.
They're now for sale.
Yeah? Who do you think's going to be stupid enough to buy that shit?
Says comes included with wokeness and DEI.
Is that true?
Yeah.
Is that true?
Yeah. comes included, apparently. So, oh boy. The Canadian and French operations of GameStop Corp are for sale. And according to CEO Ryan Cohen, comes with high taxes, liberalism, socialism, progressivism, wokeness, and DEI included at no additional cost if you buy it today.
How about this? How about the fact that every time I've gone to an EB Games or GameStop in literally the past 10 years, it has been the worst shopping experience for that entire year.
But that doesn't. But you see that you're applying a thing that doesn't even matter, because this is the fucking idiot that bought it during for the meme with the squeeze bit. This is the guy that got it in like the last 2-3 years. For the whole GME bit. So it's like, it's just been whatever. It's been a history of stupid shit. It's not like this is anything notable. But
I can't believe this company has not gone straight up bankrupt yet.
The memes, dude.
I can't believe it.
The big squeeze into the huge short against all the corporations that were hedging against it. And then memes. And to fucking go full circle, a wall of Funko Pops in a brick and mortar store.
Hey, can I buy a game? Nah, man, buy these figurines. All right, I'm getting the fuck out of here and going to fucking Best Buy.
Like the Zerg creep, you know, a wall of Funko showing up in your brick and mortar. It's
a fucking kiss of death.
That's what it is. And the more they take over, it's like, oh, it's taking over 2 walls.
Oh, man.
It grows.
Oh, this shit is done.
It grows. Anyway. Alrighty. Let's take some letters.
Hey, if you want to send in a letter, send it to castlesuperbeastmail@gmail.com. That's castlesuperbeastmail@gmail.com. Please send in good emails. So before you hit send, reread your email and ask, is this shit? Like, actually, maybe.
All right. Let's see here. Hey, Pooley and Dooley. There's some criticisms about Nightreign from the network test, saying it's a cash grab mod made by From Software and it doesn't deserve to be $40. I find it interesting since mods have become so robust. They're the equivalent of having Scholar of the First Sin overhaul on each PC Soulsborne game. Additionally, some mods turn it into a different game. What are your thoughts on this criticism? I think the amount of game you're getting from FromSoft in each one of their releases is absurd. And to call anything they're doing a cash grab is like they're well within their rights to make more money on the franchise they've built with the amount of insane fucking the sheer volume of the gameplay you've been given.
I think and
it's a reduced price at that.
I think one of the most ridiculous sentiments that you can encounter for like a wide variety of situations in life is, I don't think this is worth the money. This looks really easy. Okay, so do it then. Well, I want you to do it though. Hey, listen, if mods for From Software games are so robust and so feature rich that you feel that Nightreign is not a good value, then fucking don't buy it. The only time
even
that
at reduced
anger
price
comes
at that,
in when you're like, oh, I actually want the stuff in Nightreign, but I do.
Even at reduced price at that. And look, you know, in terms of like also Rainbow Edition and all that shit back in the day in Street Fighter 2 getting incorporated into ST eventually, like I think overall these are good things to have them officially like acknowledge and like work into the actual IP. But yeah, Elden Ring is and From Software, it's one of those things where you're getting so much more bang for your buck with all the shit they make that like I'm absolutely happy to support what this is for its limited scope, if it is. But the idea is that this is also something that could go on for super long with tons and tons of content over time, regardless anyway. Literally, like, chill. It's $40.
I cannot possibly imagine looking at Elden Ring and going, I can't believe they've like it's the one of the largest fucking games ever made.
It is a shitty entitled take. That's a dog shit take. Fuck that. Let's take one over here from Rad, who says, "Hey Willie and Pat, I was catching up on the podcast a couple weeks ago, and you were talking about how all the directors have left Platinum, and the company is a shell of its former self. With that in mind, does the plot to Bayo 3 seem better in a weird shit way now, like there was vibe foreshadowing its structure?" No, it was dog shit, and that's it. No, it was bad. No, bad was bad.
No, dude, you know what? They made it bad on purpose because they were gonna quit. And no, they fucking didn't.
I'm taking Jean with me. God damn it! No one can have her. That's insane. That's completely stupid. Furthermore, we've seen other franchises where the reins get handed off to someone else and they can still do a great job with it. Kamiya did not make Devil May Cry after 1. The shit we love the most didn't come from the first, you don't, like, that's dumb. I disagree completely. It is not. It is still bad.
It's so bad. It's so fucking bad. It sours me on that game so fucking bad. Also, that game came out unfinished. They changed the way Viola's gameplay worked in a patch to work.
I'm just thinking about how like the Jean bit was like such an explosive what the fuck, but then like what followed immediately after you didn't feel angry enough. You didn't like that. You only had half of the context of that moment, and seeing why it was necessary to just completely evict.
So I saw people talking about this, and I don't know how legitimate it is. But I saw folks talking about how Bayo 3 was supposed to let you pick any world in any order, which is why they all have entirely self-contained storylines. But then they just decided to make it linear near the end of development, which makes the story just fucking play like shit.
Okay. I thought you were going to talk about, I thought it was the conspiracy that Bayo 3 is a legacy of Shinzo Abe product that's all about reversing the birthing crisis, and that's why.
But then Bayo showed up with the Doohickey,
and that's why it you have to fix the birthing crisis. That's the conspiracy.
I cannot handle the Doohickey. I can't. It is the least serious thing that has ever been. You just can't handle it. Holy shit. You fucking up my fucking micro. I can't hear myself anymore.
That's the first time I've heard that word. I didn't know that was a word. That's really silly. That's really dumb.
All right. Okay. All right, we got this. All right. Oh my god. Okay, we got it. All right, we got it. No, come on. We got another email in there. Oh, come on. You can do it. You can push past the thingamabob.
I'm sorry. All right.
Oh shit. Okay, come on. See, because you keep laughing and that keeps cracking me up.
I've never heard that word before. That's insane. That's insane. Why would you use that word? That's so insane. That's fucked up.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
All right.
Yeah, we're good. We got this. That's it. Fuck off every time you laugh. All right. Okay.
Okay. Quick. Hello, Doped Pat, and enhanced Wooly.
Yeah. What's up?
Big updates in regards to the enhanced games,
Yeah,
aka the steroid Olympics, the Dark Olympics.
Oh, the thing that's never gonna happen because that would make me happy. All right.
So the Dark Olympics is what Wooly called it back in 2023. It seems to be going forward.
All right, yeah.
Letting athletes take as many performance-enhancing drugs as they want to see what happens. It's a classic dumb idea that you hear from your friends when you're drunk. However, over the years, the amount of funding and people interested in turning this event into a reality has been increasing dramatically. Last week, the enhanced games received a multi-million-dollar investment from various parties. And so there's a full press release afterwards here talking about how they're trying to make this happen by having athletes that will get rank-based prize money for competing.
Nice.
And they will also be giving million-dollar bonuses to athletes who can break records, world records.
Yeah, okay.
While doing this. And so far, the only athlete that has on board is an Australian Olympic swimmer. But there's tons of quotes, and it looks like it might be happening, or at the very least, there's renewed interest and money pushing forward for this.
I want every single competitor to look like Maximum Flex Pickle from fucking Grappler Backy.
Grappler Backy characters is
just guys and girls that look like they're about to burst like balloons. And then I want one of them to burst like a balloon like it's Scanners.
Okay. Just a bunch of Abigails on the starting block.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I got you. So early 2026 is what they're hoping to be able to announce a host city at the very least. But keep an eye out for the Dark.
What city is gonna host this bullshit?
The Dark Olympics.
Fucking cool city. That's who.
I mean, shit, man. You throw money on that shit. I could see that happening in the Sphere in Vegas. I could see that happening
on fucking Asteroid M.
I could certainly see that happening in Saudi Arabia. I could see that happening. Why not Detroit? Why not?
Yeah.
Detroit doesn't give a fuck. Anyway. All right. More Dark Olympics updates. We'll keep an eye out.
Yeah, brother.
We'll keep an eye out as as we get closer to the fucking the Abigail run. Oh man, just that Yoshi's Island commercial, you know?
Oh, which one's that?
Oh, with the feeding guy. They just keep
right. Oh, I hated that thing.
Yeah, no, and nobody liked it actually because like, I mean, because even if you're like one of those weirdos that's like, oh yeah, vor, it's like okay, but nobody actually wants the person to explode.
Hey, that's our audience you're talking about.
Yeah,
hey,
but
calm down.
but the actual exploding traumatized everybody, man. That shit fucked everybody up. It was like, Nintendo, you could have just said Yoshi's Island. You know, we didn't need that.
There's a famous tweet that goes around that's like video game ads in the fucking 90s were the worst thing ever. It would just be a full page ad of a guy screaming at you going, "Are you fucking stupid?" And it would be the logo for Yoshi's Island in the corner.
Yeah. I mean, there's an exact font of like the old NES ads. It was like white page, giant like text with like a single image and maybe a kid in a fisheye lens staring at you, you know, calling you an arsler. Like,
yeah.
like what are you? Like, it was just like, Jesus Christ, yeah, I'll play Yoshi's Island. It's a good game. Calm the fuck down, guys. All right. I gotta go.
Hey, have a good night, everybody.